by telling you a story about bicycles. Because when I was young, I used to love biking. Let me actually just load up the next to last Fun Day Monday. Labeled as the most bejugular Fun Day Monday, which is such a great word. Yes, cool. Excellent. I biked so much that was like the thing that I did. To the point where I would go up to people who I wanted to be friends with, and I would just ask them, do you want to go bike? Do you like biking? Do you bike? Do you want to bike? Do you bicycle? The weird thing was that I actually didn't know like what a friend meant when I was in like 6th grade. I was just like, I just want to be friends. I guess that means we go biking together. So there you go. That was the extent of my personality back then. Other than, of course, having the coolest garb ever, like the extra large shirts tucked into sweatpants, tucked into snow boots. Totally not exaggerating. I looked amazing. So, there was this one day where there was this kid named Paul who had just moved here and he was new, and I just thought maybe I want to be friends with him. So I asked him if he wanted to go biking, and he said yes, and I was all excited. And there's this one hill down 103rd Street you don't know where 103rd Street is. You can just look it up in Kansas City if you want. 103rd Street, down to State Line Road, is the sickest steep slope ever. And he lived down there to the left. So he was like, let's go to my house. We both biked there from school. And I went to the top of this hill down 103rd, and it was so steep that I'd never gone down it. I was too scared to. I liked biking up hills instead of down, because it was not scary to go up a hill. So we started like going down, and I'm not even pedaling, but I'm like going so fast, and like the sidewalks are really uneven. It's like bumpy and stuff, and my bike's squeaking like this, and like the cars that are going down at like 35 miles an hour are not actually going that much faster than us because it's so freaking steep. So I see that there's his street is up there, and he goes down and he turns left, but he has to really slow down and then turn. But I noticed that there's this driveway that sort of slopes down like that onto the street. So I just pull my bike off onto the grass. It's shaking and stuff because I'm just going to go down the grass slope onto the driveway and then turn left, and then I won't have to slow down. Well, I realize about 1 foot before I hit the grass hill that slopes down to the driveway that it's not actually a grass hill, it's just a wall. So I hit the front of the wall, and it flips me over, and I just land on my head. My helmet actually splits in half, and the bike pulls over my head and grabs my leg and just drags my sad little 6th grade body across the pavement. So I'm just like, ah! So it like totally ripped up like my right shoulder, and like all this side, like my forehead, and like everything looked horrible. Like my leg was all scratched up. So Paul comes back because I'm screaming at the top of my lungs and rushes me over to his house. And the best part is that his parents had never met me before. Paul was just like, hey, Mom, Dad, I'm going to go hang out with Sean, and we're going to bike to my house, and we'll meet you there. And they're like, okay, great. And then they just open the door, and I'm like, ah! Covered in blood. And that would drive me home. It's funny now. It's one of those level 2 funny things. And this should be a lesson to you. This is why you always wear your helmet, because you never know when you're going to bike off a cliff.